Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Streaming Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where each Friday I pick one streaming service and highlight three different films off of that streaming service previously released. And hopefully, you'll have a nice full weekend of movies to go check out. And we're heading on over to Disney Plus for this week, full of different franchises and properties. And I'm going to get started with a Star Wars film, as I highlighted a Marvel one last time I did Disney Plus. Here, this film is even more relevant than it was even just a few years ago. And generally, I try to pick films that are over 10 years old, but not exactly the most like attached to that rule, especially as some of these streaming services I might have to get a little creative. But this one is just under that 10-year mark, hitting 9 years this year. And that's wild to me because I remember when I went to go see it, and that is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Why is this more relevant now? With all the added context that Andor season 1 and 2 delivered on Disney Plus, this film has so much more depth and layers. But first off, Gareth Edwards directs the hell out of this film. It makes such great use of its special effects, utilizing a lot of practicality as well. And this film just looks really good. And it's certainly not exactly a John Williams score, but you do have Michael Giacchino who comes in and delivers a really effective and engrossing score as well. And you have this tale of this group of ragtag characters who come together to steal the Death Star plans and try to get them to the rebellion, leading right into the chase at the beginning of Star Wars, the original film. And this cast of characters is very intriguing with Felicity Jones's Jyn Erso, who's she's a rebel for sure. Diego Luna's Cassian Andor, who has so much more depth and layers to him after watching this series on Disney Plus. Alan Tudyk is just incredible as K2SO, one of the best droids in all of Star Wars. You have great supporting turns from like Donnie Yen, who takes a different kind of approach to the Force and everything, and his character was really great. But you have the likes of like Forrest Whitaker as Saul Guerrero, who delivers such a strange and interesting performance. Ben Mendelsohn is so fantastic as Orson Krennic, who is on their tail. Mads Mikkelsen is Jalen Urso, who created this whole Death Star plans and everything. And this film has a really interesting way that it incorporates into the greater Star Wars universe with Mon Mothma and Bail Organa and even Darth Vader. And that last sequence with Darth Vader is insane and one of the coolest things ever put in a Star Wars project. And generally you really get the emotion now, especially after Andor. Just all this added depth to these characters and, the tragic ending that's also hopeful because they accomplished their mission, but they didn't end well for all of our heroes of this story. But this is just a really well put together, impressive, engaging film that I certainly want to go back and rewatch now with the context of Andor under my belt. Next up, we got a little Pixar here, and we're going back 24 years to 2001. It's Monsters Inc., which happens to be my favorite Pixar film. And this film tells a wonderful story of a world of monsters where you have companies who go in and scare children for their screams that powers the monster world. And you have Pete Doctor and Lee Unkrich and David Silverman, who all came together to create this wonderful story. Sully, played by John Goodman, is one of my favorite characters and my favorite Pixar character for sure. He has like the fun colors, but he also has the look like he could be big and scary. But at the heart of him, he's a sweetheart. And Billy Crystal as Mike Wazowski is one of the most fun characters in any animated movie. He's just so excellent as the supporting character who just brings all the laughs. Then you have the likes of Steve Buscemi and James Coburn as Randall and Mr. Waternoose, who bring some terror to this, and there's some really freaky characters and intimidating performances. But little Mary Gibbs, who plays Boo, is the most adorable little girl in almost like any movie. It's just absolutely wonderful. And her connection with Sully is so earnest and beautiful, all the way up to like the very end, get a tear in your eye. But the world building of this is so incredible with all the different types of monsters. The whole thing where it's like using the doors, which they leverage for an incredible chase sequence in the climax of the film. There's good twists and turns along the way, some fun supporting turns from Bob Peterson as Roz and John Ratzenberger as the Yeti, and even Frank Oz pops up in here as well. It just all of these characters together is just such a wonderful experience. It has laughs. It has some scary moments. It has some thrilling moments, but also brings a lot of emotion. And this is one of the most earnest, well put together films in Pixar's filmography, and Randy Newman's score, it and his original songs are just excellent as well. The credit song with all of like do 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 do, and just the animation of all the monsters and the doors and everything is just so charming. This film is endlessly charming and absolute delight for sure. Lastly, this is a film I have not watched in years, but when I saw that this was on streaming on Disney Plus, I had to recommend it. And it's Benji the Hunted. I don't know if any of you have ever watched any of the Benji films, but Benji was a very famous pooch and such a wonderful dog. And he popped up in all these different films. And this one, he gets caught in the wild, which is really thrilling and exciting. And you have some really harrowing moments, including one moment with a mother mountain lion, and then him having to take on these mountain lion cubs, these cougar cubs, and they're the cutest things. And just the dynamic of watching this cute dog with these cute kittens trying to venture through the woods, and there's wolves and foxes and all kinds of critters everywhere. This film is just it brings nostalgia for me, especially, but it just has this there's emotion because not all these poor animals make it out alive, but also there's just this sense of this thrilling nature. This is like the perfect like kids thriller. It's a bunch of animals out in the woods, and you're not sure if they're all gonna make it. And it just has that energy. It's nice, lean, hour and 28 minutes, and it's just a wonderful experience and just brought me back the second I saw this sitting there on Disney Plus. And it's certainly one of those kinds of films where it doesn't have to have a lot of dialogue or anything. You're just in the woods with these animals and just experiencing quite a wonderful and incredible journey. See what I did there. But and also side recommend. There's other Benji films that are a lot of fun too. But that's a wrap here on another episode of the Streaming Wasteland. Little summation, we highlighted Disney Plus with 2016's Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, 2001's Monsters Inc., and 1987's Benji the Hunted. And make make sure to like, share, and comment on this episode. What is your favorite Star Wars film? I know that's a hot button one. And also, what's your favorite Pixar movie? Because that's also a hot button one too. And if you have seen any of those Benji films, what's the one that you gravitated towards? I know there was the Christmas one that I enjoyed as well, and Benji the Hunted for sure. Make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. We have so many great shows with so many different interests. I'm sure you can find something, especially if you love movies. And if you want to join the crew as a guest on one of these shows or hosting your own podcast, please make sure to reach out on our website. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the streaming wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.